The project was to make a dollhouse for my nephew's little girl. It began with a 1/4 inch plywood and laying out all the drawings and making sure that everything was fitted properly. Once the facade was made, proper fitting took place to ensure that the facade fitted the carcass of the house. Some pieces were needed to be added on to ensure proper fitting, and as you can see here, all the layouts took place to make sure that all the measurements were in the proper places. The window trims and the door was set into motion next, and as you can see here, we began to put the door in place to ensure that it fitted properly into the opening. My nephew worked diligently with me to ensure that all the trim around the windows was correctly placed, measured properly, and fitted in the proper sequence. Here we started putting the trim around the door to make sure that the door was elegant and it fitted the facade. Here you can see a lot more of the trim work being done, and as you can see, patience was really the key here, taking our time to do everything properly and making sure everything was sanded smooth so little fingers wouldn't get hurt. Next, we began to put in the siding, which was made out of 3/4 inch pine by a 1/4 inch thick, individually cut each piece to ensure proper fitting and to ensure that it was aesthetically pleasing. This is the way that we got every piece of siding to the same thickness, the final trim on the door, and here's the amount of siding which we later had to cut more to ensure that we had enough to finish the project. We then fitted all the windows properly, including the roof vent, and as you can see here, the roof vent was made out of 2 pieces of circles with small pieces of wood in between. The next part was, of course, completing all the trim and making sure that everything was sanded and fitted properly. Here we have almost completed the entire siding project, and as you can see later on, we continued with this, including the side of the buildings. Every piece of siding was carefully cut, placed in place with glue, and then pin nailed. Once the siding was in, everything was sanded properly, ensuring that all the pieces fit. My nephew to make sure there was enough and proper amount of glue. Using this tool, we were able to trim all the pieces of siding very accurately. Here's a completed front facade, and it looks like we're just about ready to attach it. The front door has now been completed, as has the windows. Final sanding took place, and we began, in a few seconds you will see, we began to paint it. This is the inside of the main room of the little house, and here is the completed unpainted house ready for paint. This is the inside play area where all the furniture will be placed. The shakes, cedar shingles, were hand split, and approximately it took about 1,075 shingles to complete the roof on both sides. Each was carefully placed and stapled into place and glued. Approximate time to complete all the shingles was approximately 6 hours of work. As you can see, careful attention was paid for the detail and the placement of each shingle so they would overlap to ensure authenticity. Here is a better picture of all the shingles and how they look. And here is the final picture of the shingles using both red and white cedar. A better perspective here of how the house now looks on both sides and the final look. The painting then began, paying careful attention to ensure that all the trim work was left white and all the siding was the gray color that was chosen. This took several hours of hard work, and careful attention to detail. This is proud Papa working on his daughter's house. He did take a lot of time to do the project correctly, and he was a great asset in helping putting the whole thing together. He should be very proud of himself. He did a great, great job cleaning out the sawdust to make sure that everything fit properly and we didn't miss anything. And this is the final product as we finished it, and now it's ready for delivery to what we hope will be a very, very happy little girl. I hope you enjoyed our project. It was a lot of fun making it, and it took approximately 200 hours of work, dedication, and love.